Hello and welcome to Fyrefly Wrestling. My name is Nick and I will be your guide for this video. This is going to be part of this ongoing series where I am fantasy booking all of the pay-per-views from the major companies, or at least WWE so far. I haven't sold myself on doing the AEW ones, but I probably will. I don't think they get enough love and credit these days. One big thing about this video is there's no going to be previous events being rebooked or anything. This is as if I took over today. So I can't do much about the fact that Bronson Reed got injured and they picked Jey Uso over El Grande Americano. That was a bad decision. I also would have had the current El Grande Americano, original El Grande Americano in that match. Like how they did in the Rey de Reyes tournament in CMLL. That qualifier was weird, and they picked the wrong winner, and the wrong participant, and the guy they wanted to win got injured. And I can't fix it, so we're going to see how that goes. But I will provide some context analysis on why I'm doing my decisions based on what WWE here have done. I'm going to go through each match segment based on the order which I think they will take place in. And firstly, unsurprisingly, I would have the Women's Elimination Chamber match. I think this is a pretty solid Women's Elimination Chamber. You've got big names like Rhea, like Tiffy, like even Asuka and Alexa Bliss, who are a bit more of that older guard top, but they are still there. And then breakouts of the year like Raquel and Kiana James looks to be. It's a good mix of participants. Though I don't feel like there's any oh yes, this is who we want to win. And if they're not winning, we want this person to win. It's Rhea wins, okay. Tiffy wins, okay. Sure. Which, you've got to put a lot on, Jade. I feel like if you had Charlotte Flair in the chamber, I would love the picture a whole lot more. I feel like I love that they're pushing Kiana James, but also, man, Charlotte would have added so much star power to this chamber, and I would have been almost willing, and I think I may have put it in the main event if you had Charlotte in this match. Because I think it is kind of close, and Rhea Star Power does a lot of work, Tiffy's does a lot of work, but that veteran, most women's world championships of all time in Charlotte Flair does enough to push it over the edge, I would say. But either way, the exclusion of Miss Flair has diminished the star power just enough behind the men's. Although, I could see it going on last if it's not Jade being the women's world champion. It's so built for it being Bianca, and it's so built for Bianca winning the Rumble, and that, it's fine, she'll win the chamber. It's she's not here for either. And that's just not very exciting, I would say, annoyingly. But let's quickly just run through before we run through participants, I do want to put a quick note in that I want to propose a theory. I don't think it's realistic, but if this was the case, this is what I would be fantasy booking. What if Bianca Belair's photos and messages about her recent surgery were taken ages ago when we thought it was first being dealt with, and because I think everyone thought she'd already had surgery, so maybe she already has, and this is all just a bait. So Raquel Rodriguez will win the chamber, build a triple threat with Liv and Stephanie, and then Bianca can come back to set the match with Jade. Please, that's my saving grace, and that would be really cool. It's not going to happen, but there's a chance. Technically, it either happens or it doesn't. 50-50. Okay. Jokes aside, let's quickly run through participants and who's kind of an option and who's kind of just there just for spots. Sorry, Kiana. First up, Tiffany Stratton. I love Tiffy. I love Tiffy Time. I think she's going to be a pillar in this company for years to come. But also, her and Jay don't work that well together. I've had 3 matches between the two of them. And one of them was a squash match. One of them felt like a squash match. One of them wasn't that good. Yeah, she needs to be in the match. She's a top star. It makes complete sense that she's in there and that she's a potential challenger. But also just wouldn't make sense to make her the challenger. And could be very much what WWE does, because lol. Next up is Rhea Ripley, who I really kind of thought her partner was going to be in the chamber. But it does mean that we do have 0 tag teams in the chamber this year, which I can see why they do that. And lol, Alexa Bliss has missed out in the chamber again. Io Sky, which is just funny in its own right. Also, I think everyone in this chamber is in a tag team apart from Tiffy. Also, fun little bits about that. But I think Rhea does have to be a contender. You can easily drop the belts on SmackDown this week or any time in the future. So many good challenges for those tag team belts. And then her and Jade will have a great match, and it'll probably help their dwindling ticket sales. The next person who qualified was Alexa Bliss. I don't think she's like a traditional favorite for the chamber because her vs Jade is not something I'm looking forward to, but her vs Charlotte is something I would be. So I feel like, yeah, there is a very explicit situation where you would put Alexa Bliss to win the chamber, and I'm not sure if that's something WWE would do, but it's definitely something that's in the back of my mind, and when I'm booking this match, it definitely is booked as a contender for it because that's something I think is a real possibility going into Wrestlmania is a match against Charlotte or a triple threat. The fourth one to qualify for Chamber is Asuka. She's playing this really incredible abusive girlfriend gimmick, which has gotten Kyrie's over she's been like since NXT. I don't see a world where she's a realistic winner unless you want Jade to turn face. And I really don't want Jade to turn face. So, no thanks, but cool that you're in here. And then we have our curveball in Kiana James. How funny would it be if Kiana James wins? She won't, but how funny would it be? She's had like great performances in the Royal Rumble, and seems like she's being pushed to a great, pushed like into being a great position for this year. Probably gonna win the US title belt off Julia. I think that's kind of the route they're going for. Maybe if they have that Io Julia match, and then Kiana picks up the pieces later on in the year. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know where they're going with her. I don't know where I would go with her. But I think that they definitely see a lot of potential in her, and I think she's definitely someone who I could see them at least giving a try to, and putting the effort in and see what comes out of it. And then lastly, Raquel Rodriguez, who I did say was a potential winner, and I believe even if Bianca Belair isn't back, she's still a potential winner. She's still someone who I could see winning the chamber and going on challenge for Kerr, going on to, like, even a match against Jade, I think would be fine. I think Raquel would have to be moved into that babyface role in that match, but she can play and she's proved that she's good at that role. So I think either way, it can be made to happen and it can be made to work. Starting off the match, I'd have Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez. Long-term rivals over the last decade. They always look good against each other. And I think as they count down into that third person going in for Chamber, because I would not have an elimination this early, is you have like her Tiana Bomb, Rhea Ripley, onto the steel outside, and just take Rhea out for a little while. Kind of saves Rhea a bit, because you do have to protect Rhea a lot. Like, I mean, Rhea can take so much, but you need Rhea desperately right now for ticket sales. She is arguably one of the top 2 draws in the company. It's like her and Cody right now, right? I'm not sure anyone else. Oh, and maybe Punk. Like, Punk Roman. It's like, she's top 4 minimum. I maybe even put her above Cody at this point. Like, Rhea is so over. It's biggest pop every single night. So keep her safe. Don't have her do... Yeah, she can have all these matches, but don't let her do stupid stuff like against Julia, because if she's injured for Mania, oh boy, WWE gets in trouble. The third entrant I would have is Kiana James. I want Kiana in Chamber very early because I don't think she's someone who should make it to that final, even like 4. But she should have the opportunity to show off how good she is. I think she can play that pseudo babyface role, and maybe that starts teasing her going babyface against Julia. Although maybe I would want Julia in that babyface role going forward. Also, just don't make... Like, unless Raquel's going after Jade, Raquel should be positioned as a top major heel. Because turning Liv face is better than turning Raquel face right now, I would say. I think it's close, but I think that's the direction you go down. Hit some big impact things on Raquel, and building this triple threat match as the 4th woman enters the match in Asuka. Asuka is ready for the Elimination Chamber. Is anyone else ready for Asuka? She can come in, kick some butt, and eliminate Kiana James. I think that's pretty reasonable. Kiana James out first, then you have these 5, real top names and main event players in WWE in the Chamber. But you gave Kiana her, I don't know how long it is in the Chamber this year, 3-4 minutes, I think it's been up to 5 at times, to show off how good she is, show off that she can hang with these people, before we go into the really anyone can win situation. Which I do think does get a bit murkier when I would then have Rhea hit with another Tiana bomb and be pinned and eliminated by Raquel Rodriguez. I think every Elimination Chamber needs a shock elimination, especially an early one that really throws everyone and goes, wait, I thought Rhea was going to win. Because I think a lot of people are going to go into this going, I think Rhea's going to win. And I think giving Raquel that little minor victory over her is good for that their rivalry can build on this. Not going into WrestleMania, but in future years. Maybe going to a tag match at WrestleMania if you in this situation with your Judgment Day versus Rio. Great option there as well. And once Rhea is cleared away, I would have Alexa Bliss enter in number 5, leaving your chamber with Asuka, Alexa, and Raquel Rodriguez, which can kind of divulge into a 2v1 match with Raquel and Asuka taking on Alexa. I think it's a great time for another massive Raquel Rodriguez moment. Really show her off as the monster. She powers Alexa Bliss from plexiglass. Alexa Bliss will go for this spot. She goes for some crazy things. And can again kind of make Alexa Bliss look very down and out, but because she's on the ring, she can't be pinned. And it's a good way of promoting these not eliminations, but ooh, okay, well, this person's gonna win now, clearly. And going through that cycle in Elimination Chamber is very good. And then they've kind of lost it a bit in future years when they've done these kind of things. And they've been a bit too much in the ring focused. And not enough big moments outside the ring where they just can't pin the person. So just leave them down or go fight somebody else for a while. I would then have Tiffy make her entrance and get a very, very quick elimination onto Asuka. Take Asuka out. She's had a little run, 8 to 10 minutes or whatever. Show off her skill. But now we're down to, I think, the 3 people who genuinely are the most likely people to win outside of Rhea. And you can build this into a big triple threat. Instead of this 1v1 finish, I would love to do this as a 3-person finish. Because I think you got a similar thing in the men's and women's in the men's last year, not the women's last year, where that triple threat ending, I think once you always end in a 1v1, once you end in a triple threat kind of situation. I think that builds a lot more drama into it. So at the men's, I'm going to have it finish with 2 people going for a long while I have these 3 people going for a long while, giving the duration to match as well. I would eventually have Tiffy be hit with Tiana Bomb and have her be eliminated by Raquel Rodriguez. Right as Alexa Bliss comes through, rolls her up, and Alexa Bliss wins the Chamber. And then she can go on to celebrate with Charlotte Flair. I'm really tempted to do a heel turn here and have probably Alexa turn heel on Charlotte in this moment. But I don't think that's the right time. I think the right time is Mania. And I would have in that first promo battle on SmackDown following the Chamber, I'd have Jade come out. I would have that first promo battle, and I would have Alexa Bliss come out and tell Jade, you don't defend your belt. You're not that top person in the company. I wrestle nearly every week. Every time I get a chance to wrestle, I do. You don't. And play on that idea of Jade as a hothead. And they did it a lot last year, and they kind of dropped it this year. Jade is a hothead. Jade has got these UQ losses to her name because she got angry and she did and she did the same thing with Naomi, she gets very angry and she messes up because of it. I would have her come up the next week and go, I'm doing open challenge. I'm going to prove to Alexa Bliss that I am the workhorse. I'm everything I say I am. And that gets answered by Charlotte Flair. I would even have in that match Alexa Bliss maybe teasing that she is trying to distract or attack Charlotte Flair, but accidentally hits Jade Cargill, allowing Flair to win the title and have the title going into Mania before losing it to an Alexa Bliss heel turn at Mania. It sets up a great singles feud going out of Mania between the two of them. Jade can kind of do a Bianca Belair program once she's back, take her off TV for a little while until then. And I think you've kind of set up a good little women's division going forward, and you start bringing in more main eventers from the tag scene back into it. Alex Bliss is just a great person to be a women's champion, and I think she can do a lot in that role. On to the next match in the card, I would place AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch here. As much as I think there's a lot of resentment online because the story was put on hold for ages, I'm really happy it's taking place, and I think it's going to be very fun. I think the match will be very fun, and AJ Lee is really, truly amazing and a legend. We'll work through it expands back to WrestlePalooza. Still not as long as Cody's. At WrestlePalooza, she tapped out Becky, and then she joined War Games, and then tapped out Becky. But she cost Becky the title in an epic moment before vanishing until now. And if this match happened at the Royal Rumble, at the first day of Raw, you would have had the opportunity to make it feel bigger, I think. And I would also say, I don't think this is even the Mania match for the IC Women's Championship. I don't know, hear me out. This match will be good, but not great. And I don't think even a step between these two at Mania would be perfect. AJ Lee is still getting her footing back into the company. She's not got a big run backing her right now. But she's probably done a lot more training, especially since her first appearance. I think she's going to be a lot better in her first appearance. She hasn't done street fights and stuff that much, I don't think, in the past. Like, they didn't let the woman do stip matches when she was wrestling. So there's definitely going to be a bit of a fear, like, how well is she going to do in a stip match? Yeah, like, some of the other women have come back and done very well, like Trish Stratus. But don't bank on that because they've done it. I also think it's the perfect way to include Maxime and Natty. I guess. I was really high on them, and then I watched this week's Raw. And then I went, do I have to put them on the Mania card? I love Maxime. Maxime is amazing. I actually think her psychology work is way better than people give her credit for. She's a really, really good inherent understanding of psychology, it seems. And I think that's really good. Natty, she's a Loki legend for a reason. She does, I think, need a run with that IC title. Just to, like, give her her flowers for all the work she's done in this company for such a long time. She's going to be moving that trainer role, I think, very soon. I reckon she'll become this, like, backstage figure for the company for a long time to come. Like, so give her that IC title run, even for a little while, then give it back to Maxime. And then I don't know who you have to take it from Maxime, but I'm sure you've got options. Then also you can put Becky Lynch back into the main event scene where she's sorely needed and will be amazing. I want to see this character against Rhea, against Tiffy especially. That'd be amazing. Against Stephanie Vaquer could be a lot of fun. I think you can do a very AEW kind of thing for the Women's World title scene. I mean, out of Mania. A bunch of singles matches between these top stars and seeing who's going to, like, be that favorite going in. And, like, best options are someone like a Becky Lynch who can get these big matches that don't... She can build story very fast, and I think that's going to be something they can use very well. I think this match needs to be built around submissions from AJ Lee and then Becky doing anything but. Like, Becky can try to lock in an armbar from now and now, but it should be Becky doing everything to avoid wrestling AJ. As much as AJ I don't think is, like, this top-tier 5-star wrestler anymore, still, like, avoid wrestling AJ to get over the fact that if she locks in the Black Widow, the match is over. And the second that move gets locked in, Becky needs to tap and tap really fast. Get over that finisher is the best finish, is like the top finisher right now in the women's division. And keep it there for a while, because that's what it was, and that's what I think helped AJ Lee get over really well, along with the fact that she just cuts great promos. And I know, like, her character isn't for everyone, but it's definitely for me, so I will take it. Also, I would probably say it's AJ Lee's only world title run? Or, like, title run on her return? Like, I think unless, like, this match and a couple of her future matches are really fantastic, she doesn't need to have any more title runs in her. Hold to Mania, drop it at Mania to, like, Maxime or Natty or whatever. She doesn't need... And then she can just do more, like, Blood Feud style things. And let her have these proper, fully fledged out storylines. She's mostly a part-timer anyway. She doesn't need a title around her waist. But she can get to go even if she just shows up like once a month and does an open challenge. Like, let her wrestle these people, these top wrestlers. Let her show off her skills, let them show off theirs. Like, someone like an enhancement talent from the main event scene. And I think she'd be very down to do that. Also, separating our 2 singles matches, let's open the crate! Yay! I really don't want to book it. I really don't. It's been teased and advertised for the show for some reason. Could it not be like the next Raw thing and I can just go, we're announcing we're going to open it on Raw? But, I mean, if it's anything but a person, that's the teaser person, and I don't think that's good. I think it has to be a debuting superstar, and the only star who won't be murdered by coming out of that box is Danhausen. And I like Danhausen, but like, yay. Fantasy could maybe make like a joke about trying to hide in the box to avoid the end of his AEW contract. And I like that, but also, really, whose idea was it to have a box? If it was Road Dogg, can this be the final straw to fire him, please? He's not good. Okay, let's move on to something that's actually really well built, and it's the CM Punk Finn Balor match. I'm really excited about this match. I've seen a lot of people call Finn to win, especially like all the amazing character work in that Judgment Day recently. I love the Judgment Day, but also that's why he should lose, and lose clean. Like, I could see you have JD and Dom come out very early and then get ejected. Just to really hammer the point home that this is a flat 1v1 match for the world title. It is a fight for who is the best in the world. And it is perfectly okay for one of them not to be. And especially for it to be Finn, who has been brought down by the Judgment Day in a sense. I don't know if I actually buy into that. I think it's actually Judgment Day set him up actually quite well. It actually became this like very big like pin hit taker. He got that massive like title push against Seth. He's setting it now against Punk because of the Judgment Day. Like, he's getting these opportunities, but he's definitely become the guy they need to move on from now. And that's very easy to do. You don't want the crowd to boo Finn too much because Face Turner is coming, but also really do need to get over that he's the heel in this match. And he's done some pretty heelish things going into the match. Ruined Punk versus AJ, which I'm still annoyed about because that was a banger of a match. And I would try to portray Finn as a bit of an underdog in a lot of the cases in the match. Punk knows how to wrestle a tweener role. He's done it a lot. And this might be able to help kind of mill out the boos. Finn gets boos for a lot of things he does, but not too much. And Punk's in Chicago. He's not getting booed. He's fine. Also would love Finn to embrace all his high flank abilities. Because as much as you want him to still be getting booed at times, those like cheer pops from the high flying things will do well at getting over that he can play that babyface going forward. I think the biggest story in this match is going to be the aftermatch. And how the Judgment Day split happens. I think it's this show. I know you can do it on the Raw afterwards or a couple of Raws afterwards. But I think you want that massive story beat happening on this show. But I'm not entirely sold on where JD stands. I think the JD turn should happen later in the build. I know the Penta Dom match is next week, which is annoying for this plan, but I think this actually has given me a great opportunity to build around it. And make the story built around the fact that match is happening. And I think after the match, you have Finn raise Punk's hand. And then you have him get hit in the back of the head with the Intercontinental title belt. As Dom then takes out CM Punk. Like, leg chop, whatever. Make it so CM Punk can't get up to help Finn. This gets over Dom really well that he's taking out CM Punk. And he's taking out Finn. And then get him to pull out a chair and just keep hitting it on Finn's ankle. And try to take out the stomp. So in that match at Mania, so in like maybe in the build-up, everything you do in the match, I think you do in the build-up, you have repetitively Finn can't hit the coup de grace properly because his ankle buckles on the top turnbuckle. He can't get over the line. So he's gonna hit his finisher at Mania. That's when you bring the demon out. The demon who doesn't feel injury. Who can push through the pain. And that be the story of the demon. Not just, it's Super Finn. It's the guy who can fight through the pain when Finn can't always. I think that's a good way of building that in. And after the match, which I think I would still have Dom win with JD help, you can have them beating down Penta a week afterwards or whatever. And that's when Finn comes back, builds to a tag match. Finn pins Mysterio, challenges Dom at Mania for the title. I think I've laid out this plan in a previous video, but I would like Finn to win the title at Mania, and then even drop it to like a heel Damian Priest before landing it on Sheamus at SummerSlam or Survivor Series, and kind of going from there. I think that's like a solid little roadmap for the IC title, getting on Sheamus to finish his story. Damian Priest taking off Finn, I think, is a great little like storyline moment between the two of them as both ex-Judgment Day members. I think that's just decent, solid build around it, and the Finn Dom match is going to be great fun. And then Punk can move on to Roman Reigns, which will also be great fun. Like, these men's singles titles, at least most of them do feel like they've got really cool plans and really good stories going into and out of Mania this year. Lastly, to close out the show, we have the men's Elimination Chamber. Still the main event, but definitely way lower star power than last year's. Though I'm not really sure how, like, you would have been able to fix that. I think you need, like, Gunther plus Brock in place of, like, Javon and Jay. And then, like, I don't know, maybe you have to drop Trick Williams, but he's so charismatic and has lots of star power, nearly. And this could be a breakout event for him, so I don't know if it's really possible to get or feel like you've got more star power in the chamber, but I think that's fine. I think this is still a very good chamber field, and I think there are multiple winners. There's like, Cody's like the super obvious one. There are a lot of winners. And let's start going, if we start going through a field, we have Jey Uso. So rough for Bronson Reed. And, like, yeah, I wouldn't want him in the field. I think it's messed up the chamber a lot. But I do think you can make it work in the end. I think there is a way to make Jay's, like, run the chamber work, or to work around it. He sells very good merch, and yeah, maybe this is his last singles run for a little while, because he's not good enough in the ring. He's not really good enough in the mic anymore. His booking hasn't actually supported his strengths that well. Like, he's someone who should wrestle somewhat rarely in multi-man matches, but should be telling stories alongside it, and that's what he was good at with the Bloodline and whatever. He should be carrying the tag division as a storyteller, not exactly as an in-ring wrestler. Maybe he can, but also, I don't know, his mic work has been great. It's fine. It'll work out. The next entrant in the chamber is one Lemon Pepper Steppin' wearing Trick Williams. I did see a really interesting discussion about how he's very similar to Rock in many ways. I think that's pretty spot on. His in-ring prowess is relatively equal to his fellow roster mates, like the Rock was. He's not the best in the ring, but he uses charisma and his like, not like 5 moves of doom, but a similar style of working with people around him, very good at being able to bounce off anybody. He's got so many catchphrases, so much charisma. I actually didn't see the hype until this year, but I'm fully on the Trick Willie train right now, and he is going to go very far. And I think he is a dark horse for the chamber. The other young entrant into the chamber is the Bouncy Boy and Trick Willie rival Javon Evans. And oh my, would be a great winner. I love Trick Williams. It would be a great surprise winner. And I'm definitely not sold on the Mania main event being for the Universal Championship. And that means I could see you could do a Javon Evans versus Drew McIntyre match, and it'd be great. Also, because what does Javon do at Mania? If he's not winning, I think he's going to win the Andre Battle Royale if he doesn't win the chamber. And that's fine. But also, would like him at Mania, please, because he's really cool. Next up, we have Cody Raheem Rhodes. Fiery babyface and a phenomenal worker. Though I do think he's coming to the end of his babyface run. If he walks out as Mania as champion, as a babyface champion, I think I will be legitimately annoyed. He needs a bit of a break for that world title picture, be that before or after WrestleMania. The first man to qualify from Raw was L.A. Knight. Yeah. And he's on a roll. Although I think the Bronson Reed injury has really messed up his Mania plans, I think I'm happy with where I'm pivoting with him. I think there's going to be a lot of boos, but I think it'll be worth in the end. Hopefully, trust me, I got this. I think you can do great things for LA Knight Mania. and build into this him being used like he's so over. He's Jey Uso over. Why would you pick Jey Uso over LA Knight? Really? Then the first man into a chamber. Another really solid winning option, I'd say. Randy Orton. This is, I think, 10th chamber, I think they said. Maybe 9th. He's an absolute beast and will make a fantastic winner. And a very well-earned 2-time winner of the chamber. He's got the history of Drew McIntyre, which could really play into all of this story. I think starting the chamber, you have Randy, Trick, Javon, and LA Knight all in their pods. And then Cody in the ring. And this leaves that 6th person entering in to face Cody as Jey Uso. Gives him a chance to his run at back spot. But as he's entering and walking down, because I assume it's going to be, like most years, a fairly long walkway, he is jumped and attacked by Logan Paul and Austin Theory. And they injure and take out the Yeet Man. Meaning the spot is open for a little bit of Paul Heyman trickery. As the siren sounds and Brock Lesnar walks out. Brock Lesnar and Cody Rhodes can relive their rivalry as Brock has begun his retirement run. This lets them square up one last time in Brock's final run. And Cody can play on the idea of him trying to survive the Beast. And keep surviving until number 3 can enter, and that being Javon Evans. I think this gives Javon Evans a great chance to do all the cool high flying spots he's good at. And hopefully Brock likes him because Brock will sell for someone he likes. And will sell big. And that was a great way of, I think, getting Javon Evans over. Also, the fact that him and Cody can work together to try and chop down the Beast. Before entrant... but they just can't seem to get a pin on him. And then you can get entrant number 4 entering in Randy Orton. Spoilers. Randy's entrance is a series of RKOs and a bunch of vintage Orton DDTs before Brock breaks up his run of form. Brock can then run wild for a while until LA Knight enters and Chamber feels pretty full. You have 5 people in it, and perfect time to chuck out a couple of eliminations in quick succession. Firstly, Randy hits an RKO on Javon Evans, just as he was trying to go for a Cody Cutter on Cody Rhodes. Maybe you can play in the fact that Randy saved Cody there and cost Javon. This little thing. But yeah, Javon's, I think, an obvious first out in this chamber if Jey Uso isn't in it, like I'm booking. But he did get a very good, solid run. Gets hit on his offense. Show off how good he is. Like that Keanu James spot, but just a little bit more prolonged, a little bigger against bigger names. But I would also then immediately have Brock Lesnar hit with a BFT and pinned by LA Knight. Yes, I think it's a bit of a similar story to that Women's Chamber. Of you have that early, obvious entry, and then a surprise. And then you have LA Knight taking out Brock Lesnar. Sets up the match with LA Knight and the Beast at Mania. I know no one wants it, but trust me, I think it's good because LA Knight would go over. Like, everyone's like, oh, I hate it because of course Brock was going to win. No! LA Knight's super over. Brock can take the pin for him. He's retiring in 5-6 months now. Like, he's retiring almost definitely at SummerSlam. He can lose 4 matches on his run there. Maybe even less. But the LA Knight one's a big one. Give it to LA Knight. And I think that's worthwhile. Then lastly, entering the chamber is Trick Williams, who can then hit a distracted LA Knight with the trick shot for 1, 2, 3, and we're down to 3. LA Knight is leaving the chamber and walking out, the ring door doesn't get the entrance door doesn't really get to close all the way. As one of the officials who was trying to close the door is hit with a Claymore by Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre opens the cage back up and just stands there before Jacob Fatu runs in and attacks Cody Rhodes. While this is happening, Drew McIntyre can run in and Claymore Randy Orton. He'll then get hit with a trick kick by Trick Williams, a trick shot by Trick Williams, who's still not like an LA Drew McIntyre, even if Drew McIntyre's helping him. He tosses Drew McIntyre out, quickly runs over as Jacob Fatu lets up on Cody as Trick pins him. 1, 2, 3, and Trick Williams pinned Cody Rhodes. He then moves on to Randy. 1, 2, kick out. Randy survives. Pops out. RKO. 1, 2, kick out as well. Then slow it down. you are down to Randy Orton and Trick Williams for who is going to win the Chamber. Give them a 10+ minute singles match now. Reminiscent of these Royal Rumbles with super long final twos, or like Bianca and Liv last year. Make it feel like it's a big match in these two top guys, because they do feel like two top guys. And eventually, an RKO, maybe a couple of RKOs, and a lot of making it look like Trick's going to win before the Viper wins and can go on to challenge McIntyre at Mania. The next week on SmackDown, I have Drew McIntyre announce that he found and showed Jacob Fatu footage of Cody Rhodes attacking him all those months ago. Drew always had it, but he knew that he could use it to turn on each other. He knew as long as he could avoid being baited into a match with Jacob Fatu, he could use Jacob to hurt and take out Cody. Use Jacob Fatu to make sure that Drew walked out of Germany with that world title. Make sure that Drew survived Cody's attacks on him. Drew McIntyre was smart. He played the two against each other. And now they're going to go fight while he can focus solely on the Viper. And have these two in like a Wrestlmania main event. Jacob Fatu and Cody Rhodes, 1-on-1, Hell in a Cell. Make that main event night one. That's, I think, the biggest match we have main event night one. Not for the title, nothing. Those two as guys 1 and 2.